Hello YouTube, it's James with Saft Soaps. I'm here in the soap kitchen all on my own today, making bath bombs. So I figured I'd let you see kind of how we're doing it nowadays. I've taken care of the production all on my own lately, and it's a little bit different than it used to be. Pretty much the same, just a couple of tweaks here and there to my liking. What I found works. So what I'm making right now is eucalyptus and rosemary. Great for colds, any kind of breathing issues. There we are. But what you're going to need for this, of course, you need your mixing bowl. You're going to need some kind of strainer or sifter. It's always good to sift the dry ingredients. You're going to need some gloves if you want to keep the colors off your hands or everything. Eucalyptus rosemary is colorless, but I'm going to have them on just because I do kind of tend to sweat and it kind of mixes with the materials, and I don't like that. Just because it all ends up stuck in my hands. You also need, of course, your molds. These are number 3 size. I also have a spoon for packing and helping to sift the materials. So what we have here is we have our baking soda, big bag of that. Epsom salts, also a big bag of that. We have our citric acid, not so big a bag. My kaolin clay, and my coconut oil is here melting right now, because obviously coconut oil is a hard butter, or a hard oil that is, sorry. And right now it is the middle of summer, so it is usually fairly liquidy on its own. I actually like it to be a little bit warmer, just because I find it helps with mixing. Alright, so let me get started. Oh, I also have my colors here, you might notice. I don't need them for this particular recipe, but this is just the start of my day. I'll show you a couple of the ones as we go through today here. So let me just glove up here. Oh, one thing I did neglect to mention. Face masks. Face masks are a necessity. You don't want to be breathing in this stuff. The baking soda is, not particularly great feeling, and citric acid is an irritant, so you don't want to get any of that in your lungs. It's not so good in the eyes either, but it can get kicked up a little bit as you're mixing this all together. So what I'd like to start off with is my Epsom salts as the base. This is just preference. So there we go. Alright. And from there, next I'll mix in the citric acid. As well as the kaolin clay. Almost done this bag, but I got another one sitting there on standby, just in case. There we go. Alright. Don't forget your mask. Nice big heaping tablespoon of that. There we go. Normally, this is where I would add in the color on this layer. I like it because then the baking soda covers it up, and the colorants kind of need to be broken up a little bit. So I do that all manually by hand once it's all mixed, because that all has to be mixed in anyway. So I figured, why not? Alright, so no colorants in this one anyway, so onto the baking soda. Dusty. Dusty, dusty. But once again, that's why there is masks. There we go. This doesn't take very long at this stage. There we go, that's all done. Let me just switch this around here. Alright. Get this all mixed in. Worked around, get the clay mixed in there. We already sifted that to help break it up a little bit more because I find clay likes to clump, as does the coconut milk when we use the coconut milk. Those both clump a lot. Citric acid, it's pretty alright. It does clump a little bit here and there, just with moisture usually. Just straight out of the bag, but that gets broken up right away. Real easy. Citric acid's pretty small. Baking soda is super fine. It's Arm & Hammer, so that's all good already. But I still sift it again anyway, make sure any debris or anything gets out of there. So this is pretty quick, like I said. This is basically already mixed up since it was all, just colorless, and I break most of it up already. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to make a little indent in the center here for my oils. Now, I start off with the essential oils that I'm using. So in this case it's rosemary. So let's get 1.5. Which I guess is actually about 4.5 milliliters or so of that. For using purposes, you'll see I have my droppers elastic to my containers. Makes it nice and easy, reusable. I don't have to worry about mixing my scents up. A little bit more of that. There we go. Alright. Oh, I did also forget to mention witch hazel. Witch hazel is what we use rather than water when we're getting it to harden up. Now, at this point, we have the essential oils. We just need to get our coconut oil in there. Just pull that out. Oh yeah, there we go. I don't know if you can see it, but this is basically all liquid now. There's a tiny bit of debris in there that's not melted yet. That's fine, it's going to melt as it's in there. Now I use about a 1/4 cup or so for this size batch. I do vary it based off of course weather. When it's more humid I use a little bit less. Just I find it helps. Same with the witch hazel, I'll use a little bit less when it's more humid. That's kind of the feel, that's just practice more so. At this point though, we're good to mix it, so I'm going to put my mask back on here because I'm done talking for a second. And I kind of make a little volcano because that's the way I like to do it. Alright. So we get the primary mix going. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of turning slowly into a little battery, or more battery, I should say. Almost like a really soft cookie dough or something. But the smell is incredible. Even just, mixing it like this opens up your sinuses, which is great. It smells a lot like Vicks Vapor Rub. Now at this point, with the coconut oil mixed in there, it's not going to be dusty, so you can take your mask off. You're good at that point, because if you leave it on, you're going to get hot. Especially when you do it for several hours at a time. Because I'm doing it for the store now, I'll probably end up doing it for about 4 hours or so today. And that should get me about 100 bath bombs. Maybe a little bit less today because I'm filming. That's all nice and mixed in. Now at this point we're good to add in the witch hazel. And proceed to the next step. I'm just going to quickly clear this off here. A little dusty. I'm going to move those over there. I'm going to take these 2 cups. Now these are aluminum cups, or tin. As you can see, this one's pretty mangled, it's warped. I recommend steel. It's a little bit heavier. You might pay a little bit more for it, but they're going to last you a lot longer, especially if you manhandle them. Alright, so let's get that. There we go. Give her 8 or 9 squirts for a recipe this size, which is 4 cups baking soda, 2 cups citric acid, 1 cup of the Epsom salt, a heaping teaspoon of the kaolin clay, and like I said, about a 1/4 cup of the coconut oil. Oh, I should get that back in here. Make sure it continues to melt. That's just on the lowest temperature, on the smallest burner I have. Now it's going to be pretty malleable when you're all mixed up there. You'll notice, like I can actually sit here and play with it and form it and stuff, but and you know, it'll stick together. So that's where you know you're all mixed up and good to go. I like to keep it a bit broken up though, just for the sake of spooning and everything, because it will start to harden in that position as time elapses. So I have just an egg carton to hold my bath bombs as I finish them up here. So let me just get packing. Give it a nice, you know, little heap. That one's good. And another one. And give it a quick twist together here. And voila, bath bomb. I'm just going to clean up the edge on this a little bit. Not too bad though. It goes pretty quick this way, I find. You know, I don't have too often an occasion where I have to tear apart a bath bomb and then put it back together. Not unless my moisture mix is off. If I put too much in, yeah, I'm going to have to do that. What I do instead nowadays is I just wait for it to dry a little bit and come back later. I find then it's perfect to work with. Just a couple of minutes, nothing major, you know. Go check an email or something. Alright. 2 down. Now, this batch, this recipe I find can make anywhere between 13 to 14 or so bath bombs with this size of mold, which is pretty good. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to tap gently. That's because you don't have to be forceful. That's a lot of the problems, is when it's really wet is where I have to almost force it out, and that's where I've bent the molds mostly. So I don't tap so hard anymore to try to avoid that. And it's helped so far. Now I find twisting helps to seal these together versus just, you know, pressing them down together. Just a little bit more. You get that, I guess, additional force in there. But, you know, I guess it makes sense when you look at, you know, how they say friction weld things together. Vehicles, axles, and such. And it's a lot easier, physically at least, when you're not pressing. You don't have to be a hydraulic press. I'm at 5, almost half done already. Not too shabby. Now I do have to do another batch of eucalyptus rosemary after that. I'm not going to show you that because that's just tedious. I'm going to show you something else after, something with a little bit of color. Not too difficult to start off. I'm also going to have to do some Fruit Loops today, which is just triple color and a blended fragrance. It is essential oils though. Well, I say fragrance. I just mean scent versus fragrance oil. Press it hard enough. It slid a little bit there. Not to fear, I just press it together again. That's right, I even just do it once sometimes, and it still just works just fine. There we go. I'm just going to mix up the rest of this here. If you start getting hard in some parts and it's still moist in others, I do recommend just to mix it all up. That's going to get, everything kind of dispersed again. Because you want it to be mostly of the wet stuff. But if you have a bit of dry in there, it's going to get wet as you're pressing as well. Moist even. There we go. I'm on the last row, and I'll have room for one more after, I think. Well, depending on how much powder I have in here. Without adding the color, I find the eucalyptus is a little bit shorter in stock, so I'm probably only going to get tops 13. I might have to scrape the bottom of the bowl for that, from the looks of it. But that's alright. And then leftovers I stick in a container for use later. Personal or, we'll also sometimes make fizzies out of them. The only bonus of the bath bombs over soaps is they're, just done pretty quickly. Like as you can see, not 18, well, just over 18 minutes now, and I'm just finishing up one batch. So at that rate, 3 batches an hour almost. I do have to wash it in between batches when I'm changing scents and stuff. I don't have to for right now, so like the next eucalyptus is going to be pretty quick as well. But it's not too bad of a turnaround now. With the multicolor ones, they do get a little bit longer, and you'll see that, of course, when I show you. Just be patient. Alright, so we're on the last little bit here. As you can see, it's spread out pretty far. Just get it all together again. See if I have enough. I'm just going to kind of shove it in there. I don't even need it to be that heaping actually. Like that's probably enough. If I get it decently heaped on the other side, then it will be okay. Let's see what we got left here. It's going to be close. Not a lot of leftovers left on this particular batch. Alright, that should be enough at this point, because I'm just going to shove them together here. And one last bath bomb. Look at that. There we go. Alright, and there you have it. There's one full batch of eucalyptus rosemary bath bombs in 20 minutes and 20 seconds. But I'm gonna get this cleaned up, get the next batch started, and I will be back with you with the next one shortly. But thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.